Nothing specific. It's just the time to get back on the book.
Hold on. I'm having a hard time. I think is she cutting out for anyone else?
Yeah. She's kind of squealy.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Well, let me turn off the television. Hold on.
Kind of muffled.
I muted my TV. Sorry.
Okay, I think that's better.
Okay, yeah, I think it's like we've all talked about a bazillion. Well, at least I know I talked about a bazillion times as far as just get back on the book. So I've been working on, sending out and working on more not messaging, but getting the faces, booking the faces. So, I mean, obviously I've got my order in for the month, but it would be nice to get started early for the quarter. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I did use I saw where Deb put on a little challenge that she but she copied from or shared from another director. I want to say it was Amy, but I can't remember. But as far as inviting people to get on your website and let you know how it's working and this and that and the other. If you place an order, you'll get a gift certificate, that type of thing. So I'm working on that a little bit too today.
Yeah. She muted herself for a minute. I think she wanted to go take out of the room. Yeah, poor baby. I can't get my screens on right. I see everybody really tiny and one above the other compared to normal, but who knows?
I think too much. Okay, I heard you, Billy. So working on your faces and then working on there was like a challenge to go to your website. Is that what it was?
Yeah, Deb kind of shared something she borrowed from like I said, she shared from another director that she actually had like $2,100 in sales from it. Kind of like a challenge to send out to either to share it on your page or to send to your customers that want your honest opinion, our new websites, that type thing. And if my first, I don't know, 20, 25 customers that order will get a gift certificate, that type thing. So I thought, well, I'll give it a try. but it's also, I think it was you had to use the Mirror Me app and then send me a screenshot to be eligible for that gift card.
Okay.
So basically, you have to get onto your website and obviously go through the things and find that Mirror Me app in there. So, but there's obviously once you get you my shop, it goes to your orders as far as skincare and makeup, and then I don't know, like 4 or 5 scrolls down, you get into the Mirror Me app. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't really used the Mirror Me app a lot, but to keep going, honey, go get some water. Come on. Sorry. Okay, and then anyone else have anything? I guess I'm not sure, Andy, if you're able to talk. I don't think you can talk unless you're on the screen. So
She said she can't.
Okie dokie. Okay. Julie, anything or?
No, I got to work on getting faces and all of that good stuff.
Perfect. Okay. Well, we're all in the right place then, because we're all booking faces. And so I just wanted to share, I kind of had pulled up a couple of previous things that we had set up for you girls. And most of all, I wanted to kind of go through the basics of just kind of back to the normal, like booking a skincare class. I think I'm going to mute something squeaking. I'm going to mute both of you, see if that helps. Okay. Just kind of back to the basics of like how like booking and coaching the appointments and I know we talked a little bit about that last week, and then really, and I know I had talked about kind of the growing your customer base like challenge, and so I worked on a couple things, and one of the things that I really personally gone back to, and I think will tie our like our face challenge to this coming month from now through April. I don't know if you're familiar, if you remember. Well, most of you should be familiar, but going back to a 333. And let me try to share this really quick. I forget how to do that. Okay. So the 333, of course, is just a tracking system. It's a tracking sheet. It's just a way of making sure that we're doing full circle appointments. And there's many different sheets out there. This one was specifically from a 333 Be Connected event that we did. So basically what you're looking for is either 3 parties or 9 faces. A party in Mary Kay's like verbiage has always been considered 3 or more people. So that's why you can do 3 parties of 3. Obviously you want more than that. Like if you have 5 guests there, 4 guests or whatever, that would count towards it. So that would be the face part of your goal. Now, the reason why I love the 333, and I think we just, things kind of like phase in and phase out. But what I really love about it, like I said, for one, it kind of helps you work full circle. So we're tracking our faces. We're also tracking $300 in sales from those new faces. So, when we have the 3 parties or 9 faces, the goal would be that we at least get $300 in sales from those faces. Okay. Now, obviously, as a more like skilled consultant or more seasoned consultant that just has more experience with like selling, closing, things like that, your average would probably be higher than that. And so 300 would be the minimum. Personally, I think if you're doing, 9 faces, you'd probably be close to at least $500 or $600 above. I would say to $1,000 in sales would be the goal. Okay. And then from those 3 faces, from those 9 faces, 3 sharing appointments. Okay. And then those sharing appointments can be with me. So like we've been doing the little pink possibility chats, like the 3-way phone call. You just get 3 of the faces to do a sharing appointment. Obviously you want to do more if you can. So if you can get 5 or 6 or whatever, that would be great. But from this amount of work, this should be your goal. Okay. And Mary Kay Ash used to teach us that if you do it, we used to call it a 3 + 3 + 3. If you do a 3 + 3 + 3 every single week, your business will be in a completely different place in like 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. Okay. And what it is back to kind of our conversation last week. It's small, consistent steps that grow the bigger picture, right? And so the second thing I love about the 333 is I feel like it's a more of a bite-sized chunk that we can take off, and it's not so overwhelming. It's not 30 faces. It's not 15 faces. It's not 45 faces. It's literally, let's just get through your first 9 faces and go from there. Okay. And so we're going to have a little 333 challenge, if you will. Let me see. So, let me see. Okay. So we're going to just do a little 333 challenge just for everybody working on like getting faces back on the books, working towards their goals and things like that. And so when you complete a 333, from now, so we're going to start it like starting today, basically through the end of April. So we have till April 30th, which is a little bit over a month. So you basically can start working on getting your bookings and stuff this week to set yourself up for a good April. Each 333 that you complete, you're going to get a product buzz kit from me. And that will especially be really special because we have our new products coming out. I get to order them April 27th. And so think foundations, other things that are coming, things that you'll be able to earn early. Okay. And so, the goal, based off of your goal, like if let's see here. This sheet is a little bit different. I think I have a different one that goes kind of with the actual tracking, or like the actual 333. But to track your goal, okay, the different layers of pink basically are layers of what you would want to be as a consultant. Okay. So if you do 10, which would 9 or 10, okay, I think 10 easy math, 10 and 5. And we can change this. This is just from this workbook I was working out of. So if you want to be a senior consultant, you would want to do 1 333 in a month. Okay. So 9 faces, 3 sharing calls, and then hoping that you get a new team member from that. Okay. That's like the bare minimum of a senior consultant. That would be like senior consultant activity. And if you think about it, if you think about the level that you're at, I would encourage you to look at the level of activity that you have done. So if you are a senior consultant, you might look back at your average and be like, yeah, I probably do a few faces a month and a couple of sharing appointments here and there, and I'm a senior consultant, right? If you're a red jacket or if you're an elite team leader, obviously, you've been doing more faces more consistently. So the second full circle, so if you do 2 333s in a month, that would be like red jacket team leader activity. Okay. So what I love about this, what's really easy about this is that you can look and you can basically be like, hey, if I want to be a red jacket, this is my game plan. This is what I need to do. And I know last week we had a couple girls on the call that express that they want to be in red jackets, right? And so this is what that looks like. And kind of like I was mentioning last week, the results, the needle moves when we are in front of new people sharing the product and then sharing the opportunity. It doesn't always necessarily move in that direction with things like a sales challenge or a pop-up party or, anything like that. And so the real bread and biscuits butter of our business, right, is the facials, the skincare parties, and the appointments. So I just want to get back to like tracking that. Sorry, my nose is like so bad. And then really, really just having everyone be aware of like, what does that activity actually look like, right? Because I think sometimes it's also really easy to look and be like, I want to be a DIQ, or I want to be a sales director, or I want to be a red jacket. And maybe it's just in that season of our life, we're not willing to commit to that level of activity. And then we question, or we get, maybe beat down, or our confidence gets lower every single time that we say we want to do something and then it doesn't happen. We can start to question like, why, like, am I not good at this? Am I not, when reality, we just really haven't done the numbers needed for that level of work. Okay. So there's been many times in my business where I have wanted X amount of goal, or I've wanted, I want to earn a Cadillac. And I'll be honest with you, like there's been many times and many seasons where my capacity has been low and my willingness to work at that level was not there. Right. And so we have to be honest with ourselves too. And it's not saying that we shouldn't stretch and move to those things and that we shouldn't just settle for where we're at. Of course, we should always stretch. We should always, push a little bit to the next level. But you actually, like, your brain starts to, what's the word? It's not like when you're lying to yourself, but like your brain starts to pick up. Okay, I heard this analogy one time, and it was like, have you ever had a friend who always like schedules with you like lunch or coffee, and then they just cancel? They like every time you schedule lunch, they cancel. You schedule coffee, they cancel. You schedule this, they reschedule. Like it's just all the time, right? And so what happens is your brain, the next time they want to schedule something, you retract like, hold on. I can't rely on you. I can't trust that this is going to happen, right? And so that's the same exact thing when we do that to ourselves. When we tell ourselves, I'm going to do XYZ in my business. I'm going to do 30 faces. I'm going to do 30 faces. I'm going to do 30 faces. And then we like cancel on ourselves, right? Your brain subconsciously feels that same feeling that it does when your friend tries to schedule coffee. Does that make sense? And so your brain starts going, oh, like, can't trust her, can't rely on her. Like, it's just a whole subconscious thing. Okay. So in those moments, we have to understand that and we have to recognize that. And that's what I'm saying. Yes, there will be certain places where we have like this much capacity and we need to stretch a little bit more. But don't go so far out there without even doing the first step first. Like that would be like you girls on this call, like, or, you know, myself included, like, I'm going to earn a Cadillac by June. Like, that is a lie to myself, you know? So just recognize where you're at. And what I would recommend for everybody, because this is kind of how we treat Star Consultant, when you're tracking to be a star, there's this certain star levels, right? So there's like the first consistency level is $300 a week. And when you start selling $300 a week, you become a Sapphire Star. And then once you do that consistently for a few months, then you bump up to the $400 a week, which then makes you a Ruby Star. And so what I would, you know, I guess challenge or recommend for you girls is if you are doing no faces right now, just start with a solid 1 333, maybe 2 333s at the max. Okay. 9 faces. Like, can you get 9 faces done by now till April 30th and the sharing appointments and the $300 in sales and get a win under your belt? And then you'll have some momentum going into the next month where you can then do another 333, or maybe you bump it up to 2 at that point. So if you're not seeing faces, or you're excited to start, or you're resetting or whatever, maybe just start with the 1 for now and really get good. Like, my intentions of what our training is going to be over the next, you know, little bit is that we are really focusing and dialing in on every single aspect of the appointment. So we're getting really good at booking. We're getting really good at coaching the appointments. We're really good at booking from booking. We're finally, you know, we're selling enough product. We're then moving them to the sharing appointment. Like, how do we get really good at every step of the appointment so that it works full circle for us? Okay. Not like, oh, I did 9 faces and like, I don't know, like, I don't know what I sold, and like, I didn't really coach them, and I don't like, maybe someone will book. Like, that feels really messy, right? So let's take this as a time to like sharpen our skills in those areas so that we can have like solid appointments. So, let's see. And we're in March. Has anyone done like any faces this month? Billy, I know yours was last month, right? Was yours in February? Oh, you're muted. Sorry.
Yes. I had the 2 in February. The 2 classes in February.
Yeah. So let's use you as an example. So you have how many faces was it?
6.
6? Okay. So 6 faces.
7 total. 7 total for those 2 parties. Yes.
Okay. 7 total. That's awesome. Yay. So 2 more would have finished the triple three. And then the goal, which you did share with Tana, so that would count as 1. The goal is now to be go back to those people and move them to the next step, because I know you finished your sales, right? So you did the faces, you were a couple short, but you finished the sales. Now, let's not let those people slip through the cracks, and let's go back and interview whoever will, whoever says yes, basically, whoever will let us, basically, right? Let's just not let them slip through the cracks.
Right.
It's like, I love that the chunkiness of it, because it makes you stop and go, oh, I did all of this, but I'm missing the sharing appointments. I'm going to go back and book some sharing appointments. Is that helpful?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good deal. Let's see. Okay. Any questions on that? I know we've used that in the past, so it's probably, I know it's not like new news or anything, but okay. Okay. So I was just going to run through this really quick. I need to update this packet a little bit, because the one I'm looking from, I know I have the updated stuff. It's just not in this packet specifically. But so where do we start, right? Where do we start? How do we even get the 9 faces? How do we even begin, right? And for those of you that listened to Amanda Wright's call that I shared with you with the booking the parties, one of the things that I really loved the most about what she said was she just started, but she started with just a small handful of people. It really, really can take, 2 to 3 hostesses to just get the ball rolling for you. Okay. It doesn't have to be 400 people. You don't have to go get all these crazy leads. You really just need to find even one. If you can find one person to partner with you and have a party and introduce you, just like kind of Billy did last month. She got out there. It was from one of our meetings. I had shared some booking texts we did. She got out there and booked a couple hostesses. Those hostesses, brought a few people or whatever. And now there she was. She's at a few new faces, right? So it really just looks like finding a couple people. And my filter, you guys, because I've worked this business for so long in so many different ways. I remember hearing this one time that people said, if you ask for a facial, you'll get a facial. If you ask for a makeover, you'll get a makeover. So what does that mean? If you ask for a party, you'll get a party. And that's not always true. Not everybody wants to hold a party. There's lots of booking objections. But if we're only asking to book a one-on-one, that's all that really will ever be, right? And so how do we start working through the filter of making it a party, making it where multiple people come, where they bring friends and things like that? So just keep that in your mind. One-on-ones are not a bad thing, right? But can they bring 2 people with them? How can you utilize the people that you're already booking to expand your customer base without the lead generating? Okay. And then at that party, your goal, or at that appointment, your goal is to get the 2 bookings or even 1 booking to then further the next appointment. They bring more friends and so on. Right. So, okay. So let me see here. Okay. So when we start booking, and you guys, the booking script, I'll just share this because it's in this packet, but the booking script, it matters, but it's not everything, right? there are a bajillion million ways to book people. I really think you have to just have excitement. You have to have a goal. You have to have clarity on what it is. And then, you just have to ask enough people, basically. And so on here, there's a couple booking scripts: booking a facial, booking a party. They're all very similar. After the booking is set, so we can work on booking maybe another time, or maybe even a little bit later, but I kind of want to run through this. So after the booking is set, okay, this is where the pre-profiling of the appointment and the party begins. Okay, so I've talked to a few of you about this over the last couple weeks as you've had some appointments and things like that. But the pre-profiling is the most important part. So you'll see here these facial coaching texts or party coaching texts. This is going to be, and they're all a variety. They're all different. I mean, they're all just a basic general idea of what we're saying. Okay. But what the pre-profiling is it's you coaching the appointment or the hostess how you want the party to go, right? So we can't just expect that people know, like, to confirm or to show up or to bring guests or whatever it is, right? The people don't know how our business works. We know how our business works. So when we put the ball in our court of how we want that appointment to go, we can ensure that now we're showing up to an appointment with knowledge of, like, who's coming, who canceled, who canceled, who's bringing friends, what their skin type is like, and so on. Okay, so we can go into depth about that, but basically what we're doing is we're getting the guest list. So if we're talking in the sense of a party, okay, we're getting the guest list from the hostess. And what I loved about Amanda's party that she does, she gets it like 3 to 4 days before the party. We used to get it like 24 hours before the party. She's doing it more advanced so that she has more time. She's actually basically helping invite guests to the person's party. So she receives the guest list from the people or from the hostess, names and numbers. And then, and again, we have scripts and stuff. So I wouldn't super focus on that right now. But then she's going in and saying, "Hey, Susie, I'm so glad, this is Tanya. I'm going to be the one at the party on Saturday. I just had a few quick questions to ask you so that I can be prepared for you. Is your skin oily or dry? If there's anything you'd like help with your skin, like what's one main concern that you have?" And then a couple other questions. Okay. When we do that pre-profile, what that does is that, for one, kind of gives you a warm introduction to the person, but two, it's kind of like a secret confirmation of the appointment, right? Like, that girl is going to text you back. She's going to give you her answers, or she might say, "Hey, I'm actually not able to make it." Okay. So you're actually in charge. You can't count on your hostess. Like, what I found many times is that when I was kind of new and I didn't really know what I was doing, I would have a hostess that would be like, "Yeah, I have 7 people coming." And it was 7 people that they talked to 3 weeks ago that said maybe, and they assumed that that meant yes, and that they all were still coming, and that none of them were going to cancel. Okay. So when you're doing that yourself, 2 to 3 days before the party, you have control of knowing that information. Okay. And then there's another text kind of before the party. "Hey, just want to make sure, blah, blah, blah." And then again, that's kind of another secret confirmation of, are they coming or are they not coming? Okay. One of the things that I loved about what Amanda did is, if there was somebody who could not make it, text and said, "Actually, I'm not able to make it," she would then use the hostess credit of the booking. "Hey, we're actually looking for 2 bookings. This is how Billy gets her hostess credit. What if we set up a one-on-one where you and I can go and we can do the skincare together?" So she's not just dead ending the people that are like, hey, I can't make it. She's trying to get them to move forward. Hey, do you still want to come? What if you still come for skincare or makeup, whatever it is? Okay. So just so you kind of have a visual, that's our job when we've set the appointment and then before the party. We are working on coaching them through the party. Okay. This sheet, there's a couple different versions of this. I actually kind of like this one better, I think. So this is where I now take the guest list and I have written this down. I'm writing down their skin type, what they want to change or improve, any notes, anything like that. I'm going through and making sure with my checklist. I don't know if you can see this because it's on your phone, but I'm just going through and making sure that I'm getting my text, my checklist, making sure I'm coaching, sending out invites, etc. Okay. What I like to do is I like to print this for every party I have. If you're doing a virtual party, we have the other sheet for that because it has the ones with the sample, did I send the samples and all of that? So very similar, basically just a tracking sheet. But what I love to do with this sheet is now I have all the guest information on there. I literally walk into the party with that sheet and I'm not scrolling through text messages trying to figure out, does Susie have normal skin or oily skin, or if I'm writing name tags, I'm not going through my messages. How does she spell her name? Like, it's all on the sheet. I walk in the sheet with the sheet. I set it next to my table and I start filling my trays, and it's fast and it's efficient. Okay. So having some of these on hand is helpful. And then let me go, because this is, again, okay, so where I'm working at with, I'm helping rebuild our hostess like stuff folder. So if you go to consultant coaching and then coaching and pre-profiling, there is some stuff in here. Okay, so documents that you can print, closing sheets, things like that. Scripts. So here's some different scripts for parties, and it's not all perfect yet. Trainings. I would highly recommend, and I know I've had a few of you go in and watch these because you had parties, but these are great little hostess trainings. They're just short little Voxers just to help give you some extra information. Okay. So what I've been building, though, from kind of everything I'm creating, I'm going to try this out. I don't know. I guess you girls will have to give me some feedback. I'm going to try it more as this, like, they're called pages on boards, but where it's kind of a, what's the word that you call it? Like, it's in chronological order. So like you would literally go, okay, here's my, like, this is my text to get the guest list, and here's my hostess program. So I'm texting her this. Okay, then when I come back, then it's going to be this. Then when I come back, it's going to be this. Does that make sense? Instead of having to click through like this script and this script and this script and this script. So I'm trying out, I want to try that out just to see if that's a little bit more helpful for you girls. But anyways, all of the like text scripts and things in here that I've kind of been talking about, documents to print. So here's the other party plan page that there's like I said, there's two versions of it. They're both very similar. And then in here, so this is really important, especially if you have not held an appointment for a long time. This is your skincare class packing script or packing checklist. Okay. So this is everything that you would want to have ready in your starter kit. You might need to go in and throw away a few things if products have been expired. Maybe they're old products. Like, I know we've been virtual for a while, so I personally had to even go back into my in-person kit and like refresh everything. So if you need a little bit of an updated checklist of what you would need for like an in-person appointment or a party, reference this here. Okay. Hostess credit. So I took this from Amanda Wright, the girl who I did the training with, and I really did like her hostess credit. Hostess credit is made to basically you're a business partner with the hostess. And so the hostess credit is made to help ensure that you and her both have a successful party. Okay. So $30 she's going to get for free, held on the original scheduled date. So this just ensures the party sticks. $30 free if you get a 15-person guest list with the phone numbers. $30 free. She does how many numbers of guests. She does a kind of an increasing schedule with that one. Party sales increasing with that as well. And then she does $40 free book for 2 bookings. I need to change that. I just saw that. I wanted to do 50 because I am at a stage where like I really want to master the booking from booking. And so I'm going to put my money where I want the most results. Does that make sense? So when I'm at the party, I'm like, you guys, Billy's getting $50 free just by 2 of you booking your own appointment. Like I want that to be the highest incentive. Okay. Now, the party again is made to work for you. So yes, you're giving away free product. Yes, it's money out of your pocket. You know, all of those things. It's just the same thing. We have to start thinking it as a filter of it's the same exact thing if we would go spend $100 on a booth to get leads. Or you know, $20 to send out sample packs for a virtual facial or whatever the amount is. Okay. One of the things she recommended is as a consultant, if you would like to, you could cut this in half and do $100 and everything would just be cut in half. So if you don't want to do the 200, you could just cut it in half and do $100 free. I did the math and like, I basically did the math of like, if they spent the least amount of free product and had like the most amount of free guests, like basically if I did the max out of this product, it's costing me like, I don't even know what it was. They're getting like, okay, so if you sell $350 and you give away, it was like 75 or I don't know what it was, 80 or something. Like your sales will help cover the giveaway, if that makes sense. And it's made to help you get more so that you have a better party. Okay. And then there's just a place you can send this to your guests so they can have a guest list, phone number, build their wish list and so on. So this would be the new hostess packet. I will need to change that little typo there. I'm going to run with this one for a little while. We did also have this one. So you might be familiar with this one. I liked this one, but the reason why I wanted to change from it is, as you notice, they're only getting half price items for all of the, if this was a more sales focused party. I don't care about the sales. I know that if I get in front of people, I put the product on them, they're going to buy stuff, right? For the most part. The sales is like the least thing I need to focus on with my skills. What I need to focus on and what we all need to focus on with our skills is getting the bookings so that we have more parties, more people to work with. And I want to incentivize the guest list and having guests there. So I didn't feel like having half price items is a big enough incentive for that, which is kind of why I was like, well, I really like her thing. Now I will tell you, Amanda is a workhorse. Like she works very smart, very efficiently. But in her training, she mentioned that she just started like booking parties, just kind of started getting the ball rolling. And since 2021, when she started with those original 3 hostesses and really worked on mastering the booking from the booking, she said to this day, she has not had to go back and like rebook parties. This has all been booking from booking from booking. Is that mind blowing? Like 5 years of just, And we saw that, right? We saw that with the virtual. We saw that it could just like catch a wave and keep going. So anyways, that's a little bit just of the resources that you can find. Again, I'm continuously like adding stuff to it and kind of working on it. But our goal, okay, like I said, back to our kind of our goal is let's just like challenge each other to do a triple three in April, 3 parties or 9 faces, depending on how that goes. Okay. And just again dialing down, getting a booking script that you're excited about. Billy and I, when we did this last month, we did voice memos to and that's what we got our bookings from. We were able to share excitement. We were able to share the goal. Sometimes we just have to get outside of the box and like call people, or maybe we don't text them, but we call them or voice memo them. And so, working on finding 3 solid hostesses in the month of April. You guys, 3 hostesses would take you like, that's like 3 time slots next month. One couple hours on a Saturday or a Sunday or a Thursday night or a Wednesday night or something like that. Okay. And what I would recommend, of course, is that maybe you book a couple extra, because just in case that one of them cancels or reschedules. So finding just a handful of people that you can book. Okay. Now, I would love for Billy just to share, because you did get some bookings last month. Or from the parties, what did you take from like our trainings that we did, and how did you implement that, and how did that look for you to kind of get those bookings?
I think a lot of it was kind of the pre-prep work. Yes, you want to use your scripts. I did use the boards as far as that went, but I did, like you said, I did use voice memoing just for the mere fact is like, I need your help. And I think that kind of, in most cases, what woman is not going to want to help you, whether it's a goal that you're reaching for. But I think what I took away most of it was that definitely personal interaction. So not just a copy paste or a text, whether it's a voice memo, whether it's a quick, hey, do you have a quick moment to chat? It doesn't necessarily have to be a video chat. It could just be a quick phone call, whether it's on Messenger if you don't have their phone number yet. So I think being more personal is definitely the best route that I have found in this last month.
Yeah. And with your voice memo, could you I'll give a quick example too, but could you just give a quick example of like what you said in the message to the couple girls that you asked?
I try to keep it simple because I tend to have, word vomit. But, it was kind of like when I reached out to Ton, it was of course with her, I said, well, hey cousin, I would definitely love your help here. I know your time is short with it being summer months and calving and that type of thing. So keep it personal with them as well. But hey, I'm reaching for a goal. I want to be red jacket by March. I need to put some faces on the books. Could you help me out? It doesn't have to be a huge party. If you give me 3 or 4 girls, that would be great. Keep it simple, but keep it personal.
I love that. Yeah. Keep it personal to them. And like what, I always love doing that. Like mine was, I don't know, one of my customers had just gone to like on vacation, and I was just like, hey, Susie, I love seeing your vacation pictures. I've always wanted to go to wherever it was, Australia. And then I just was like, hey, I have a super quick favor to ask. I'm working on X goal, and I have been challenged to do 5 parties this month. And so I just was curious if you would be interested in getting together a couple girlfriends. And this was in February. So I was like, and I'm doing some girls' night out, and we're going to have like chocolate covered strawberries, and we can, do some fun drinks and snacks. And I would totally make it worth your time if you'd be willing to help me with this. I just need, a few girls that would be willing to grab some girlfriends, and we can do some skincare, and, I have masks and all the things. And so I just wanted to ask you, because you've just been such a great customer, and whatever else I said. But it's conversational, and it's personable, like Billy said, and I'm honestly am really struggling with my nose and my voice right now, so I can't sound very excited. But at the moment, I was like very excited. Like I was like, I am working on this goal, and like I am just on fire to finish it, and I could use all the help that I can get. Right? I'm sharing the passion in my tone and what I'm saying. So just don't overcomplicate it. And the people that will, and the people that won't. And I think the thing that like I'll tell you is like, yes, words matter, but if they're going to do it, they're going to do it. Nothing you said is going to make them say no. They were probably already going to say no anyways. Yes, you can say things that maybe sound a little better, or a little more interesting, intriguing, or whatever. But it's not your booking script that's making them go like, oh no, like they just maybe weren't going to do it anyways, right? And so my challenge for you with all of this, okay, so where Amanda said that she started, and I loved this, and we'll kind of wrap up with this. So she started with a list of people who use skincare, weird because they love skincare. And then they might have friends that love the skincare, right? But she made a list of people who order a miracle set or a repair set from her that maybe haven't ordered it in a little while. And basically asked them, I could share. The script wasn't the best. Like again, I think she's voice memoing and kind of making it her own. But the script was basically like, hey Susie, I just had a quick question. I know it's about this time every year you reorder your miracle set for me, and I was wondering if you need a refill, and if you do, how would you like to get that for free? So she started with her skincare customers and tried to get them a free skincare set if they'd be willing to schedule a girls' night with her. Okay, so that's one route when you're making your brainstorm booking list. That's one route that you can go. Who are your best skincare customers? Okay. And they don't even have to be the best. Like, who uses skincare? Let's ask them to be a hostess. Okay. The next one is that so what she said is she reached out to 10 women that she thought would be reordering with her soon. Who do you know who orders a skincare set that hasn't recently? Ask them first. Okay, so starting there first. And then the second place that she started was people that she knows, likes her, and supports her. And she was like, those people. Like they comment on everything. If they see you in person, they're always cheering you on. They're asking you about your goal, or like whatever it is, right? Like the people that they just like you. Like there's just some people who just really like you, right? And the biggest thing that she mentioned, you guys, and we can work on this later, my goal next week is to do some more like booking and booking objections. But she said, yes, of course, there were booking objections. And that was part of a full circle appointment alongside of learning the skill of like coaching and pre-profiling, was that she sharpened her skill of getting through the booking objections. Okay. Everybody's going to have objections, just like Billy did with Tana. I know you're busy. I know it's calving season. I know it's summer. Hey, it's just going to be quick. I'll come over for an hour. It's not 10 people. Just bring me a couple. You're just working through their concerns and their objections. A lot of them, in other worlds, I learned this, they call it a smoke screen. And it literally is just, they say something. They don't even sometimes know that they're saying it, but it's just an objection. And it's just to like, it's basically to just get you to like blow off. Isn't that crazy that people do that? Oh, I'm busy right now. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I can't. Oh, I don't know anybody. And so what we do at that point is we go, no worries. It doesn't, just like what Billy said, I loved her words. It doesn't have to be this crazy big party. Literally, if you had 1 or 2 people come, that would be perfect. So when they approach you with the objection, how are you overcoming that and working through that skill of that? And not just being like, okay, sounds good, talk to you later, because that's what I feel like most of us do, right? Like we're like, okay, she said no. Just getting past the objection to get to the booking. So, okay, so triple threes and hostesses. So I will share the flyer for the triple three. Again, we'll just start it today, so you have a little bit of a head start into April, and then the deadline will be April 30th. And so every triple three that you finish, you're going to get a buzz kit from me. If you can be patient enough, it will include the new products, because I'll wait till I'll order April 26th, and then that way you can get the new products. And then, yeah, I'm gonna keep working on kind of building this little folder of stuff, but that's basically the gist of it. Get to booking, get some hostesses. Weekly plan sheet. If you are like out of the booking zone or the time management zone, I encourage you to sit with your April calendar, like in the next couple days, and actually mark out times that you can have appointments. Because that's one of the biggest reasons why we don't book, is because you'll say, whoa, let me like check my calendar, let me see, or when can you, and then it never gets solidified. So having those dates scheduled on your calendar beforehand, so that you could, when she says yes, you could say, okay, great, I have Friday, Saturday, or Tuesday at 6:00, which one works for you? Okay, so I would go into your April calendar and just kind of mark off some of those dates that you can hold appointments. Okay, that was a lot. Any questions? Anybody have any feedback or questions or anything?
I just wanted to thank you for getting us back to the basics, because I forgot about a lot of that. And I think it's going to be really helpful to kind of just go back to the basics. You know, we do that in golf all the time. You know, when our shots are bad, when our swings are bad, when we do this, you know, Dad and I always say, back to the basics, you know. So I think that was great. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Well, I will see you girls next week. And yeah, just keep me updated. You can post in the group chat or just our private chats if you have questions with the bookings or where to find anything. I'm trying to compile stuff kind of into that hostess folder, but some of it's bits and pieces from different things right now. So if you can't find something I shared, or just remind me and I'll post it and share it, and that way you have it. Okay, good night. Talk to you girls later.
All right, good night. Thank you.
Good night.